Hi, and welcome back to BeBrightTarot.ca. You are liking, subscribing, following Instagram, YouTube, and website, and I appreciate that very much. So, we're going to dive into our month ahead reading, and so the month ahead will kind of tackle just some success, things to release, things to focus on, maybe an obstacle, and so we just use this as a little bit of inspiration and guidance for the month just to help us have a little bit of self-awareness about why things may be happening they are. And so I always encourage you to do a little bit of reflection at the end of the month, just to see what things may ring true, and you know how to keep the cards and the energy top of mind to help you just through those day-to-day struggles. So enjoy your reading. Here we are with our June month ahead reading. And of course, we are going to start with the current self card. How are we feeling right this moment? And that is a reversed Six of Swords. So, the main message here is let the swords, those conflicts, those problems, the habits, the past, the experiences, the whatever, let them fall out of your backpack. Leave them behind so that you can move on with the change and the transition that you need to make. All those fears, those bad habits, and the resistance we have to a new opportunity has been holding us back. So let's look at the benefits of trying something new rather than the obstacles that it may pose for us. Um, we're feeling a little trapped and spinning our wheels, and that we're being held back, weighed down with all these extra burdens. So let's um, let's drop those things that we no longer need. Those things that are weighing us down. Um, let's just lighten the load a little bit. That will certainly help us to move forward. All right, next card is what we should release from last month, release from May, and that is the Nine of Wands. So we've been feeling a bit fenced in, maybe on the defensive lately. Maybe we've needed to put up some fences or boundaries around ourselves in order to kind of get through and persevere through some things. We've maybe gotten ourselves a bit wore down while striving to get through kind of this final step in the challenge that we've been tackling. So, really, this card is the don't give up now, um, pep talk kind of card. Um, you kind of got this. You got this. We've gotten to the end. Let's kind of release those boundaries, let them come down, and let's come out of our protective shell that we maybe have put ourselves in just because it's been so busy and all those kinds of things. So let's release that. Next card is going to be the theme for June, and that is a reversed strength card. So again, this card feels very aligned with those first two cards in terms of us having a sense of hesitancy, a lack of confidence. We're feeling defensive and a little bit trapped. Fear is kind of ruling our decisions, and we're kind of in danger of giving up on things because they feel like they're out of our control. So we just need to be aware of that energy and be mindful of how we we react to it. Um, let's give ourselves a pep talk whenever we need it this month. Um, let's build up our self-esteem and our self-confidence. Um, we're feeling a little run down, um, and maybe even weak and tired. And so if we let some of those burdens fall out of our backpack, um, we can find that we'll be able to take a big lighter step forward. um, if we're aware of those restrictions and how we may be draining ourselves, um, instead of building ourselves up. So what should we focus in on in June? That's going to be a high priestess reversed. So we need to focus on listening to our intuition rather than relying on our logic and overthinking um, everything. Our gut, our instincts, our intuition, however you want to call it, is telling you that you can do the thing. You can make the change. You can step out in a new direction. But we've been ignoring. We've been ignoring what our instinct, what our high priestess is telling us. So let's focus on that. Let's pay attention. Let's get ourselves out of the dark and the confusion that we've, maybe have put ourselves into. Let's emerge from that self-imposed, um, fenced in space. But let's do it with confidence, strength, belief that we know what we need, we know where we want to go, and that all we need to get started is ourself and paying attention and listening to ourselves. So that's what we should focus in on this month. Next card is going to be an obstacle we might run into, and that is the Nine of Swords. So our main obstacle is ourselves. It's our fears and our anxieties. Again, all those burdens we've been placing on ourselves, um, it very easily can derail ourselves. So it's going to be hard to overcome, but it's certainly not impossible to get over, because now we're aware of it. We're aware that we are overthinking everything, um, and and we're worrying about problems that will likely never be. We just do that what if, or this could, or what that will happen. We gotta stop that crazy mindset of negativity. Um, so we will need to face it head on to get over it. That whirlpool of anxiety, worry, and regrets can certainly pull you down. Um, so let's listen to our intuition. Let's release those swords from the past. Let's find our inner strength. We can totally do it. We can get over this obstacle of our own fears and anxieties and overthinking everything, because we know it. We know it's there. We're mindful of it, and we can tackle it. All right. The next card is a success card. What might we see success with or tackle really well this month? And that is a reversed Seven of Wands. So it feels like this card really could represent kind of the root of our struggles this month. Again, it represents feeling overwhelmed by responsibility and challenges we're facing, but doing it while constantly feeling judged by and compared to others. That always on the defense, always battling against the whispers, the things, the the self-imposed, the family, judgments, all those things. We've been backing down and avoiding conflict just to make everyone else around us happy. So as a success card, it it reminds us that we can overcome all that. We are going to look at all these other cards and we're going to pull down our barriers. We're going to listen to and feel, um, believe in what our intuition is telling us. We're going to face our fears. We're going to lighten our load. We're going to release those anxieties. Um, all the things. We're just going to keep reminding ourselves that we're strong. We can move through everything. Making a mess here. And we can get through this change, this challenge. Um, we can fight our fears and anxieties. We can deal with them. We can do that. All right, final card is the advice for the month. And that is the Tower card. So expect the unexpected. Big change can happen. It may happen. It will happen. And it's not going to be an easy one. But it is absolutely necessary to shake things up. Basically, the foundation of our tower is no longer stable. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't align with our values. It doesn't make us happy. Whatever the case, but it needs to fall down. Once it's fallen down and it feels like there's total devastation and destruction around us, we will be able to rebuild it stronger than ever. So, the biggest advice for you is to not fear it, not worry about it endlessly, because there is nothing you can do to stop it. You cannot control this change. What we have to focus in on is how we respond and react to it afterwards. How do we inspire ourselves to embrace the great things that are going to follow after this change happens? One of my favorite quotes is, "What you're giving up is tiny compared to what you will gain." And that's what that tower is all about. So June feels like a bit of a big, momentous month. We're facing fears, we're lightening loads, we're putting down barriers, we're dealing with some fears and anxieties. And we're going to find our strength. We're going to stand up for what we want. We're going to take on this challenge, and we're going to come out the other side happier and more successful. So, have a great June. That's your month ahead reading for bebrighttarot.ca. Like, subscribe, follow Instagram, YouTube, and website. Thanks for joining in.